I'm going to put them in an obedience command, such as a sit, like we have Kaya here, and then I'm going to give my dog their release command so that they understand that we're releasing them, that they are free to move around and cross over and sniff and explore. Sit, but also to engage with me. Kaya, free. So this is basically my dog's time where I can follow my dog around. Remember, when our dogs are sniffing, sniffing is quite an erratic movement, sort of all over the place. It's not in a straight line. I'm going to just follow her around if she wishes to sniff, as long as the lead is loose. So we're on our long lead here. If she starts moving away from me, I'll start feeding that lead out. If she starts coming in close to me, I will feed the lead in. Now, I got a bit slack while I was talking, and you can see the lead's already got stuck under her leg there because I let it hang on the ground. So we'll just untangle. This will happen anyway. It's one of the downfalls of the long line. But as much as possible, if you can, try to focus on keeping the lead between the dog and you up off the ground. So keeping it loose, but off the ground. Now, if she goes out and she does hit the end of the 5 metre lead, our leash rules still apply on the long lead. So if she hits the end of the 5 metre lead, I'm just going to stop and stand still. I'm just going to be a tree. Just because we're in release mode does not mean that we can still pull on the lead. I still want to create a bubble of reinforcement around me, which we'll start doing shortly. And I also want my dog to understand that the lead provides a boundary, but now we actually have a 5 metre boundary or a 10 metre boundary, depending on the length of your long line. And you can see she's been wandering around here for a little while now. And because I have been a bit more conscious of my leash handling here, keeping the lead off the ground between the dog and myself, we haven't had that foot tangle. So you can see I've just been feeding that out. She's going to hit the end of that in a sec. Good girl. Well done. Good. And she came sort of straight away when she felt herself hit the end of the lead there. Now I can also, yes, start adding in some engagement there. So that was a bit of capture the focus. So if your dog's wandering around on that long line and they're away from you and they look back at you, that's where we can mark yes when they make eye contact. But remember, we're running backwards and having them chase us for the treat when we're rewarding focus from a distance. If she's standing here right next to me, yes, and offers me focus, well then I'll reward her in position here, because that's essentially where the highest, that's our reinforcement zone. Basically, yes, so my dog has full length of a long line, but they're choosing just to chill with me and offer me focus. I'm going to mark and reward that. If she's out there and she looks back and offers me focus, I'm going to mark yes. And like I did before, we're going to run backwards so that the dog has to chase you and be rewarded at you. We're never going to walk over to the dog to reward focus there. Now, once you've been doing this for a little while, you will find that your dog will probably sniff around like Kaya has, but they'll probably start coming back to you and just wanting to hang with you anyway, which is really lovely. But I might just start moving around again just to encourage her to get out and about and explore a little bit more. I'm also going to maybe get a few treats in my hand ready. Yes! Good girl. So exactly that. If she does look back and offer me focus, I'm ready to capture, mark and reward that. Good girl. And this is a really lovely way also to work on your loose leash walking, where you can see she has all this line. Yes, but she's actually paying me some attention. Whoopsie. That's okay, that happens, doesn't it? Especially when we start moving around a little bit more. Feet, good girl. Hey, feet, lift your leg. There we go, just you'll probably have to untangle occasionally. But if I change, yes. So you can see as I change direction there, without any tension on the lead, yes, my dog is following me. Good girl. Wasn't ready. Let's get some more treats ready to go in my hand. There. I don't want her following the food. I want her following me. Good girl. Yes. But just starting to play some games like this, we're building that bubble of reinforcement around us, changing direction. We'll test her out a little bit. Is she going to keep following me? I'm just ignoring her, walking around. Yes. And if she continues following me, I'll mark and reward that intermittently. I'm not asking her to follow me. I'm not luring her, bribing me to follow me. Sorry, bribing her to follow me. If she wants to move away from me, she can. She's under release. I haven't commanded her to do anything. Yes, good girl. But you can see how I'm creating a bubble of reinforcement around me here. She's learning that there is a boundary, there is some freedom there within that. But near me is a really safe space. It's a rewarding space. And she can choose to explore and sniff the environment, or she can choose to, yes, whoops, hang with me. Good girl. And using your long line is a good precursor to starting to get off-lead reliability with your dog there as well. So once you've developed really nice engagement with your dog through this loose long line work, then I'm not going to go straight from holding the long line to letting my dog off the lead. But what I can start to do is just drop that long lead. And that way, if my dog did see something in the distance and decide to run off after it, or if they went, oh, look, she's not holding the lead, see you later. All I have to do is grab the long lead or quickly step on the long lead, rather than having to chase the actual dog there. So we can walk away. Obviously keep a bit of an eye on your dog. Yes, and she's good girl. Well done. If she wants to move away from me, she can. I'm purely marking and rewarding the eye contact. I haven't actually asked her to do a command that I need her to be released from. If I was to ask her to come, which we will shortly, we can add in some recall. This is a great opportunity to practice your recall. Then I would release her from that recall because I've actually asked her to do a command. Good girl. Nice. She's... And you can also start to run around. Yes. Play a bit of chase. You just want to make yourself rewarding. Good girl. Good job. Well done. Just want to make you the really rewarding space. Yes. Nice. She looked over there, took a step in that direction, but went, hang on, you're moving away from me. Yes. She chose me over pursuing whatever it was over there that she was looking at. Yes. But this is how I'm going to start building to that off-leash sort of freedom and that off-leash control. Now we might add in some recalls, but to do that, I don't want her to experience success in ignoring me. So because we haven't done any recalls today in this session, I'm just going to pick up the end of the lead. So if she does ignore me, I can follow through effectively. But if she's recalling really well on the long lead, then I'll drop the lead to build off-leash recalls as well. I'm just going to wait till she's paying attention elsewhere. Girl. Now when you start all this, you're probably going to be using your food a lot more frequently. We're probably using a medium level of food reinforcement here with Kaya because she has already developed pretty good, a pretty good bubble of reinforcement around me already. But if this was a newer dog you were doing all this with, I'd be marking and rewarding a lot more than I have been with Kaya. Once you've been doing this and this has been going well for a long time, then you're going to start using your food rewards less and less and less. Still going to give the dog an occasional food reward, but I'll start to reward and use food even less than what I'm using now with Kaya. So it just depends on the stage that you are at with your long line training and also your dog's current ability as to whether you're food rewarding quite heavily or whether you're starting to wean off and use that food less and less and starting to use more your body and your physical praise there. It's also getting quite warm, so she's kind of like, okay, I'm sort of done now. But if we want to get a recall in, I can use my food to throw it away to get her away, just so we can get some recall demos there. Get it? Throw that out. Kaya, come. Yes. And reward. Good job. Now remember I've asked her to come? Free. Good girl. I need to release her from that. Good girl. Get it. Kaya, come. Yes. Nice. Good girl. Don't forget to bend over, pat your dog a little bit there when you reward them so they get used to you touching them when they come to you. We don't want the dog learning that, oh, every time you bend over and touch me in a recall, it means you're going to grab me, put me on the lead, take me home. We just want to make that bending over and touching a normal part of a recall. Doesn't mean anything bad's going to happen. Good girl. Free. And we'll release her from that. Good job. Good girl. So once your dog's sort of like this, rather than just working in a space, you can actually start turning this into more of a relaxed walk. So we might do that. We'll get the camera to follow us. Good girl. Yes, and we're going to start actually going for a walk around this oval a little bit. We're not under any structured walking command, but she wants to hang with me anyway. So you can see how once you've done all this work, yes, this is where we can start going for a more relaxed walk rather than such a structured walk with our follow or heel command. In the beginning, if you were to try this with an untrained dog where you've done no structured walking practice, where you've done no engagement games, this dog would be at the end of that 5 metre lead pulling and dragging me. So you can't go straight to doing this work. If you haven't already spent time building engagement through our engagement games such as food lure chase, capture the focus and the orientation game on the regular short lead, both at home and out and about, teaching your structured loose leash walking, teaching the dog how to follow you, then eventually all that comes together so that we can go to the park now and let's go and we can go for a walk and a wander. Got some birds over there. So what I might do next time she looks at those birds, if she does, I'm going to practice a recall off those birds. Come. Yes. Nice. Good. Free. So if you notice your dog looking at another dog over there, or maybe it's some birds or a child or something that's distracting, while they're on the lead, it's a great opportunity to start introducing recalling your dog off a distraction. We're not going to start teaching a dog to recall off another dog when they're middle of rough play at the dog park if you haven't started with the foundations of recalling off another dog, which is recalling off another dog when they're just looking at another dog. Good girl. I'm not going to keep giving her heaps of rewards here, but yes, I will give her intermittent food reward. Good girl. Off you go. She's at the end of that 5 metre lead there now. But you see she's developed that boundary. She didn't even bother going out and trying to pull further away than that 5. Yes, good job. Hey. Especially if she has been out away from me a little bit and she comes back in, that would be a good opportunity that I might add in some food reinforcement. Yes. Just letting that lead hang now because we've got a bit more of a rhythm. But if you notice that was starting to become a problem with getting tangled, then just go back to keeping that lead off the ground. And just wandering around. Might be wandering around a park. We're on an oval here. She's having a sniff. I can pause. She can do this. This is her free time. Enjoying life, being a dog. Is that fun? Good girl. Is that good? Is that good? If you do want to get going, let's go. Good job. Remember, as long as that lead's loose, your dog has that freedom. Doesn't matter if she's on the left or the right. Kaya, come. We can, yes, use that opportunity where she was heading away from me. Free, just before I release her. But that was a good opportunity to throw in a recall where she was, rather than just chasing a bit of food I threw, but she was genuinely walking away from me. Good opportunity to add in that recall there. Out she goes. Yes! There she went out, and before she hit the end of the lead, she actually looked back at me. So I'm going to mark and reward that. That's that more organic side of the capture the focus game we've been working on. Good girl. Good. Sit. Good job. And then if we wanted to actually move more sort of structured walking, I could now pop her onto our short lead and give her her walking, structured walking command, so heel or follow. If I then wanted to head off in a more side-by-side structured walk. Sit. She's broken the sit, so sit and then pressure up and pressure off. Just using my emergency brakes there. The biggest problem that most owners will encounter on the long line is that they put their dog on the long line and their dog is just out at the end of the long line, lunging or trying to pull and drag them around, or maybe they're barking and so on. If this is happening, then that clearly shows that your dog is not ready to be on the long line in that particular environment. So your dog must be in a calm, relaxed state of mind to be able to succeed on a long line or to go for a relaxed, loose adventure walk, which we're progressing to. So that can only happen if they're in that calm state of mind. If they're overstimulated, over-aroused or reactive, then first of all, you need to be still on the short line and you need to be working on your engagement games. You need to be working on just chilling out, sitting in the park, watching the world go by and doing nothing. So don't forget to teach your dog to do absolutely nothing. So sometimes you need to take the movement out of the activities and just sit still. Maybe command your dog onto place and just chill out in the park for 20 minutes, half an hour, until your dog can relax in that environment and start to develop a calm headspace.